Let's go get him again. Elite circle, third eye open, left hand holding, right hand smoking, flow still potent. Managed to score, yet I ain't open. Was on my beach chair, yeah, I ain't folding. Pardon my hiatus. It takes time when you live in life. In my mind, I'm preparing for greatness.
That's the end of the singles segment, man. Let's move on to some of these albums, man.
Okay. Where you want to start? I know you got your list. Go ahead.
Let's start with Old Faithful, man. Let's start with Jim Jones. Dropped the Gansta Grillz. We set the trends. 25 track mixtape. Yeah, gotta be honest with you, man. I didn't get through the whole thing. I put it on shuffle. Gave it a good old 12 song try. That was my limitations, 20, 30 minutes. And with that said, man, I like what I heard, Jim. Keep doing your thing, man.
Okay.
I love the drill. I love what you're doing, Jim. I love that he giving me that shit for, of course you see Jim, Fab, and Mano and all them going to the gym on their IG and making fun of each other and stuff like that with Fab coming in all pretty and whatnot. But to me, I say all that to say this, that's what this is for me. I ain't go into this with high expectations. I didn't go into this thinking this is a focused project or nothing like that. I just went into it like Jim been pretty consistent over the course of the last 2, 3, 4 years in terms of dropping projects with particular people when you're talking about DJs and or producers. So, and that's not really being highlighted from kind of the circles that I'm in. But I rock with it, man. And the 12, 13 joints that I got through, I definitely was rocking when they had one dude on there that sounded like Pop Smoke, and I forget his name, but so that was a good song, and I think it's Duchess or Dusty something, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but I like it overall. He had a song on there called Lobby Boys. I know him, Mano, and who else is in that? Uncle Murder, maybe one other guy, but anyway, like that project. And, I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it. But it's absolutely gym music, up-tempo type stuff. Ain't nothing to write home about in terms of, like, this is a classic or nothing crazy like that. But it's good for what it's for. Get some stuff out there. Put some new talent on, because it's a lot of new artists on here that I've never heard of, or, just giving those guys that shine. So being an OG in the game, that's dope to always give back and lend your time to artists to give them a platform, and a lot of them stepped up to the plate. So overall, it's something I'm gonna return to, specifically when I'm in that mood for the gym. Me and Prez here, we mood listen. Wherever we at, that's when we listen to music. So that's what I'm gonna do with this project. So cool, it's cool so far.
You said it perfectly. I ain't just gonna add too much more to that. Like, hey, that's exactly how I felt on it too. It was just like, okay, it's the gym type vibe. It's that trap music mixed with some of that drill. Love this. Like, I listened to it the regular way through, and I liked it. It's 25 songs though. I listened to all 25, so it actually kicked out some other stuff off my list, because that was a longer listen than I was expecting. But yeah. I was more excited too that this is a Gansta Grillz. I didn't know Gansta Grillz was still trugging along like as a series, or is he trying to like reignite it, or how they doing here? But hey, that was good to have that on there, giving his sound more to that down south trap. Yeah, I thought the album was a great representation, a great little kickoff for him, and him doing something different, getting away from Harry Fraud a little bit, just giving us a nice different mix and down south mix to it.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next joint, man. Moving right along. Were you able to get to one of the guys that you put me on years ago, Kota the Friend? Were you able to get to that?
No, I did not get to Kota, because I was listening to all 25
Jim Jones. I'll hold it down.
All right.
So I was rocking with this Kota the Friend. It's called Lyrics to Go Volume 3, continuing on the series that he started with last year. One of the more important things that I wanted to note in this project is that he was accused of some really, really serious accusations in terms of putting his hands on his ex-girlfriend, and that ran up and down the timeline, and he's pretty much, when you do things like that, you kind of get the cancel culture and without finding out the full information on that. Since then, I think he's tweeted or posted something on Instagram about it not being true, but it took a couple weeks to months after that. He addressed that on this album. I think that was like super vulnerable, and it's also important for you guys to hear that part of it, and because we often hear the accusers, the person being accused, but we never hear when it gets cleaned up and find out that it's not even happening. That's not to excuse all the dudes out there or even women that are doing stupid shit as far as putting their hands on each other. I say all that to say this. I like that he discussed what went on with his life in the music and addressed it in a really meaningful way. And then number two, out of like a lot of these drops that drop, you know, I was kind of getting to it so we could talk about it because that's what we do. We put you guys onto music. But at the end of the day, when I listened to it, I really enjoyed it. Like as far as his beat selection, the production, and just how focused these 10 to 12 songs, you know, be on his projects. He be in and out, like no BS, and he be rapping, and he has some really good concepts on here. I wanted to just take a time to kind of just tell you guys about one of the songs that I actually liked on here. My bad. So Scapegoat, you know, for Troubled Boys and Shame. Those are three that stuck out to me right out the gate on here. So go check out Kota the Friend, Lyrics to Go Volume 3. It's a good listen. It's a good listen.
Is it more the calm, like laid back type of vibe again? I know like that last one was.
Yeah, but he got different. It's calm, it's laid back like all of the series. But it's just some good production, man. I enjoyed it being, you know, leveled and consistent throughout. Like you don't got to give me everything in such a short packaged project. You know what I mean? It's like 30 minutes, if that. Let me correct myself. Yeah, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 10 songs. So you know, some of them are super short. So I think it did what it needed to do to have one consistent theme.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I definitely be listening to that, and I give my thoughts on the later part. So,
all right, where you want to go next, man? Because I think we could go to another album I haven't fully gotten through that I don't feel comfortable talking about, but I know you got to it.
What?
Weeknd.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, my love, hate, more recently, more hate relationship with the Weeknd. The dude that's responsible for some great music. But I think he done hit this little corner. I think y'all pointed out on the last album, and I started to think it's starting to hit a little bit closer to home with me on this album. A lot of his music I don't think is made for me anymore, man. Like it's extremely, it's all the way pop for one thing, and the content is just not there like it was on those earlier albums. So I found myself not really vibing to this album. It's not the best product when I won't go to for the weekend. Matter of fact, I could tell you halfway through it, I started feeling like down about it, and I just went back to his older content, and I was just like, "This is what I'm going to listen to." But yeah, I did not initial first, second, and third listen to this album. It just didn't grab me.
Fair enough. Like I said, I didn't get to majority of it. I just heard the highlights, the Tyler the Creator feature, the Quincy Jones interlude, and you know some songs after that. But I don't have enough to make an assessment. I know it has a heavy '80s vibe, so I'm interested in that sound because I do enjoy, you know, that '80s pop music. You know, I mean, we all wouldn't love music without one of our favorite goats, Mike Jackson, you know, Prince, and stuff like that. So I'm not saying it's giving me those vibes, but if he has anything reminiscent to those type of sounds, I'll try it out. So I'm gonna try it out. But
hopefully you have a better experience than I did. I mean, but like I think it's one of those albums that I'm writing off. It's out of I gave it a couple listens, didn't kind of vibe for me. Maybe if I hear just a song here on the radio, maybe a song eventually grab me even more. But I mean, as far as the album, I just don't see myself going back to it.
And it's crazy because you know who did a 80s album last year but got no recognition for it because people still don't know about his situation, his past with Meg Thee Stallion and all that, all the stuff that's kind of coming out about their situation. Tory Lanez, Alone at the Prom.
Yeah.
If you want to hear it done well, go listen to that. And if you don't like the
Tory Lanez did.
This stuff has come out since then, press about that situation. So it's not the same. More information's come out, so I've changed my stance on Tory Lanez. But we'll get to that offline. So it's not what we thought it was when it started off, man. So it's a lot of stuff. I stand where I stand with the information at the time is where I stood then. But there's been more to come out. But I don't want to get into a Tory Lanez convo. But
yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Next up, man, Nick Grant. Welcome to Loveland. This is one of our favorites. We talk about him a lot. I've rocked with his EP prior to this, and let's get into it, Press. Welcome to Loveland. How you feeling?
So, man, this is just perfect. I think again for that young guru statement where he's saying people need to do stuff a little bit different, or what he was insinuating. He didn't want to just rhyme it around, and we was just talking about. We was talking about that in with the reason, and we mentioned Nick Grant as well because we figured like they kind of do that, right? But they do it well. On this one, he went for a whole funk, love type vibe on it.
Really good.
It works. It starts to show here's a little bit of range on it. I don't know if he's just getting older, had like one of those J. Cole fold your clothes type moment. But he produced a whole album off that product and did it very well. I do like the back end of the album a lot more when he started rapping a lot more on it than the front side of the album. But the front side album is I akin it to like
experimenting.
that. Yeah, the melodies and everything that he was going to it. It wasn't expecting this from Nick Grant. Haven't kind of hinted at this on any other previous projects. I think the last one I remember is like him the comb in the hair. And we had the Carolina
Diaries.
Carolina Diaries, like that was the last thing we had, and it didn't have none of this type of vibe.
He was just rapping on there, and doing some dope stuff with the rapping. But yeah, like much to your point, man, there was no way we saw a funk album coming. You know what I mean? And it was dope, man. Like because this is what we want from the guys that rap. Like find unique ways to keep being motivated to do what you do. And this was one of those ones to where I'm like, yo, I love this welcome pace. Yeah, we just heard it in the R&B version from Silk Sonic. You know what I mean? And I'm still rocking with that album. A lot of people are sleeping on it at this point, but you know how fickle people are with music. They move on to the latest drop, which we all do. But I think Nick Grant did that part well, where he was being very melodic and to your point, man, the range was really, really like eye-opening for me because I haven't heard him do that for an extended amount of time. So that leads me to, okay, this is a project. This is something that he clearly wanted to make and let you guys and us know that I can do this. So whenever he drops an album later on this year, which is just more, traditional and him rapping about whatever he wants to rap about, I'm excited for where he can go and how he's grown. And then the last thing I want to say, I think it's that TDE and that Punch involvement. I forgot the group that they're a part of, and it escapes me. So, but he rocks with Punch, Daylight, and a few other dope MCs, and they formed a group, and I forget what the group is, and I hate that I forget. But yeah, I think he's got people in his corner that are pushing him, and he's pushing himself to make doper material. So I don't really need to break down what song you need to go to, what this, that, and the third on this project. It's a vibe. I hate to be cliche, but I mean, it puts me in a good zone. I like to listen to it when I'm cleaning up. I've listened to it just playing Madden and kicking it around the house, riding around to it. And then arguably, between this Cordae and Kota the Friend and Earl. Like those were the 4 joints as far as these mainstream albums that we're talking about that kind of got my attention this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and point to a couple. I thought like the Ingredient, Brutal Honesty, Zombies, Gangsta Lean, and the Ock. Like I said, that back part of the album, if you're just going into it, like you don't want to be inundated like with that new melody that he's trying to vibe it all together. Like that's a little bit more like tide you over to get you into the other part. But if you just want to experience it, like Cash saying, like it's a vibe. Just go ahead and listen to it all the way through. But if you want the rapping little portion on it, definitely make sure you go to that back end of the album.
Let's go to Earl. Let's go to Earl.
All right.
All right. Can I start this one off, bro? We need to switch it up.
Yeah, go ahead. All
right. I don't listen to everybody. I don't listen to everything. Really haven't, I can't really give you a deep dive into Earl Sweatshirt. I know his past, know who he ran with, know, who he was clicked with and all that stuff. I know I'm familiar with his story, but I never listened to a project from him. This being my first project of finally giving him the time of day, the correlation with him working with Young Guru, who, again, he's an engineer that I respect, and Alchemist and a few others on this project. It's the art of the cosign. I'm sorry. I'm guilty of it too. Especially when I've checked out your music in the past and just like, it's probably not for me at the time. And, a million rappers out here. So with that said, I get into Sick, and man, I was pleasantly surprised with just his unorthodox flow. First of all, it's very unorthodox. Him and his, buddies, they cooked up some shit on here, man. Like, whereas I want to point out quite a few tracks on here that I've enjoyed as I scroll to the album that doesn't want to come up. All right, so I got Tabula Rasa featuring Arm & Hammer. That shit is dope to me. God Laughs, Vision, and the title track Sick itself. But I mean, this is 10 joints, 25 minutes. I'm man, he about a good 80% with me on this project. And it's just from everything overall. Again, we're getting older. We talked about the Young Guru comments earlier about rapping your ass off and kind of, we love that. But when you make a project that's, very well tight and put together and the sound is consistent and the raps are there and the musicality and all that, I can't say it enough good things about it. So I am rocking with it. And, I don't have anything negative to say about it. So that's where I'm at with the Earl Sweatshirt.
When you talk about rapidy rap, that's this. Like this is all it. You don't get no other like anything too many gonna be too many hooks or nothing.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, yeah, this was
him just rapping.
Yeah, this is a hip hop album.
It's just the guy just flowing, and you're either gonna like that or you're gonna hate it. You know what I mean? Like I could see. I don't think he's trying to garner any. He ain't trying to go mainstream with this type of style or anything. It's like you either feel it or you don't. You know what I mean? Rock with it or you don't.
That's where I'm at. Similar to like the Boldy James thing, right? That Alchemist just did with Boldy James. I listened to it. A lot of people was giving it high praise. I wasn't feeling it, right? And I haven't felt the last few Boldy James projects, but that's just me and his style of rap. He's not whack. It's his style, his tone of voice is not for me. But on the flip side, Earl did the same thing, but I like the production. It's not all Alchemist production on here, so he switched it up. And overall, to me, it doesn't feel like, yes, it's rapidy rap, but I think me and your definition might be different. Because when we talking about rapidy rap, I'm thinking punchlines, barring your head off. That's what I'm thinking.
He got different setups, and the way he kind of lays his bars and lines together, it's not the same punchliney or the triple entendres and stuff like this up in there. So it's not gonna be that type of setup with it. It's just him, just like I said, just rapping, and it flows, it goes, like I said, you're either gonna like that style or you don't. And I can see if Young Guru had just got mixing this, and then he seen that statement, and he was thinking about this song or this this album, then I can get his point. I can get his point for him.
He's the engineer on here.
Yeah, so I understand, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, I know he probably worked with some of these, and he's probably just like, yeah, he's probably tired, because if I had to listen to this for 2 to 3 days, nothing else, like, I'd be like kind of toned out of it too. Like, I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm tired of this. Like, we need some real music up in here, or I need some more upbeat. I say real music, but like some upbeat, some melodies mixed in, and all this.
So you taking it the other way. You taking it like he listened to this. I can't.
He was mixing this out.
Boom. I won't say
boom
boom
bap.
that coming. Yeah, but again, I think it's a hypocritical thing too with Guru, right? Because this is like this is the quintessential hippity hop album. You know what I mean? It's just that Earl Sweatshirt is on the West Coast. It's different vibes. It ain't the boom bap, but it's the same. It's West Coast boom bap equivalent, if you really want to say that. So it's funny how we all contradict ourselves and our hypocrites, and it's dope, man. It keeps the conversation moving forward. So, I mean, that's all I got for the Sick album by Earl Sweatshirt. I definitely will be tapping in for future projects.
I made sure this was on your list, and it's one of those albums like Earl Sweatshirt. I listen to all this stuff, so I appreciate it. I like it. But I'm very aware that it's not for everybody.
Okay. So I think we got through them all, man. We saved, one of our favorites for last, and Cordae with From a Bird's Eye View. Long awaited. We've talked about his first project a lot on here. We talked about his EP. His EP even made my top EPs of 2021. That's how much I like this young fellow. And let's start it off from there, man. What do you think about it, man? Feel free to take as long as you need, man, or not, depending on how you feel about it. So it's all on you, Prez.
I'll start off with my negatives. I didn't think that volume 2, the couple songs extra added on there, didn't need to be on there. They if you wasn't gonna include them with the main little set, calling the volume 2 their bonus, just put them as a bonus or something like that. Save it for deluxe. I didn't think they need to be mixed in with this initial album offering. I think they kind of taken away from it. I didn't like those couple songs at the end. The rest of the album I thought was good. In the middle of the album, kind of leveled off a little bit, but then it picked back up again at the end. But overall, great album. I think I would definitely recommend this to anybody who's like into hip hop. Like, hey, this is a great way to start off the year. It's one of those ones that was kind of anticipated. I didn't see, was missing those songs from his the EP that came out last year.
Yeah. There's nothing on there.
They wasn't on there. I think they could have fit in good on here.
Yeah.
Give me those as the bonus on here and replace those other 2 songs.
Especially the Q-tip one, possibly. I think that would have went well.
That's how this thing was going to start off, with that song. And I was just like, okay, yeah. So I was a little disappointed that those songs wasn't on here. But I understand if you release that for an EP. But like I said, that could have been thrown in as a bonus and then just kept me at the end of that album after you're done with that volume 2 portion that you said. If you had those 4 songs, you're getting that much more praise.
I'm gonna send you my playlist of the album, and then I'm gonna take out the shit I don't like off this project and put in the EP, and everything is good. All is good. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I love that the fact that we have our own opinion, and again, you're not a social media person, and I like that balances us out, because you come in with the fresh input. I have to disregard all of the input that I read, you know what I mean? Because I took my time to get to it, because I knew like this is one of the young kids that I want to champion, and I want to say, he's doing his thing, man. And of course he's mainstream, but I think the reason why he's mainstream because people like what he does and how he carries himself, and he puts the lyrics first. He puts the music first. You know what I mean? So with me, man, I have no problem with this album. I've really enjoyed it. Like, it's been called mid. It's been called trash. Like, you know, I saw nothing.
It's definitely not trash.
It's not trash. And I think we got to stop that. We got to stop, because we ain't feeling some shit and it ain't for you. That's not the equivalent of trash. If you say it's not for you, I believe it's not for you. You ain't got to double down on trash, because can I go off on the tangent, Press?
Go ahead.
Rappers, underground rappers. I'm just saying, it's a lot of you motherfuckers out here that trash this album, and your sound quality, your production, and everything about you. It ain't that. It ain't that. So you got to look yourself in the mirror. And before, I mean, I know the bravado and I'm nicer than everybody thing is, but the fact is, some of y'all are not. So until you get to that point, come on, man. Like, you can't throw stones. That's just where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Like, if your shit don't sound better, but if you believe it and you're delusional, by all means, you supposed to, that's how rap is, right? You're supposed to believe that you're the best. But I'm seeing a lot of, you know, fellow rappers and you know, just jump out the window with it. And it's like, fam, like, before you speak, make sure your shit is in order. Make sure your house is in order. Because, you know, that's where I'm at with that. That's my tangent. But back to the Cordae from A Bird's Eye View. I like this project. I was listening to it again because I listened to it in a certain mood, and I was just moving around trying to listen to it because it's, you know, just doing my thing, working, and that wasn't the time for me to listen to it. But later on, I'm up here chilling, sipping on some wine, playing Madden, you know, playing 2K, and just relaxed, and my mind is just on the music. Shit's good, man. Sinister, again, we heard that. Super, John Michelle. I even like the commercial shit. The Today with Gunna. I like the shit with her. Champagne Glasses. I'm mad that Nas isn't on that, but I like that. Westlake High. Like that. Like, so that's all. Boom, 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 boom. I just named 5. I can't front to just have a negative opinion on it. Could I think he could have done, you know, put some of the EP shit on there? Yeah, absolutely. Put some of the EP shit on there because it was better than some of the Want From Me's and the Mama Hood. You know what I mean? Like, those were cool album songs, but like, I think some of the stuff from his EP earlier last year could have been put on there. But moving forward, Press, I want to get to the song that everybody's talking about. Parables featuring Eminem. Time to get the clicks up. Hey, y'all get the hate up. Get the hate up. Time to get the clicks up. If M don't stop ruining songs, y'all got to stop allowing him. Like, I get it. He a legend. But he has to stop. He just doing too much on the record. It's like, what for? Like, the beat is switching up and they did too many different flows, and it's like, it's pointless. Just give us a good 16 to 24, bro, and go on about your business. We already know that you one of the best technically sounding rappers to rap out there, but why do you have to sacrifice showing that skill, which we all know you have, for the sake of the song? Like, shit blows my mind. Like, Cordae came on and killed it. Like, I think Cordae could have included this in the album, and then this is an instance where I would have cut Eminem. For the project. Now, I get this politics at play here, but this one, it didn't fit the scheme. Great technically, but it made for the song. The song dragged on to me, Prez. I gotta say it.
Cash, I totally agree with you, and I think that's kind of like why he did it. On that, added as like the volume 2, like 2 songs on the volume 2. Like, it's not really needed. I think that's what you were saying, the politic portion. Like, you got M, so you have to put it out, because once people hear about it, they're gonna be like, oh, I want to hear the M track. But then when you hear it, you see why he didn't include it within the album.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't go. It wasn't it. You know what I mean? Like, so probably spent the money, paid for it, put it out. Because the way social media is, once people start getting a little hint of it, you're gonna have to put it out anyway. So just go ahead and give it to them. But at the same time, like I said, the only thing that could have made that go a little bit easier, I think, if you put those 4 EPs on that side as well, and then that kind of like gives you a softer palate in your mouth, softer palate for that type of song mixed in there. But
I hate to do it. I hate to do it to him.
M just did not come with it on this. And then, I think we're going to talk about that Lil Wayne, Sorry for the Wait. I think we're going to run through that. I'll speak on that when it comes through. But it's just those similarities, just those in those two, like just stop. Like, why? Why? Like you saying, like, why do it? Like, y'all already solidified and stuff like this. You got to be able to listen at this with a critical ear. And if it ain't doing nothing to add to your legacy at this point, then don't put it out.
I feel like sometimes when he does that much, it's in fear of getting cleaned up from just a flow that's very direct and to the point, and just like, I know he can rap a lot more simpler. Like, sometimes less is more. And in this instance, like, Cordae came on and I'm like, oh, I like this beat. Like, he flowing, he killing it. Like, subject matter, all that, punchlines, did his normal 1-2. As he's supposed to when you got a legend on your project. You got to come with it. I don't see no reason why M couldn't have done the same, I won't say same type of flow, but just, the basic, give me some regular shit, man. You ain't got to do out of this world shit. I know I can't do what M does. Nobody, a lot of people can't do what M does as well as he does it technically. But again, stop sacrificing the song to be able to get your shit off. That's selfish. Selfish. Eminem is selfish. He's selfish. Selfish. He's just trying to show off he can rap really fucking well and don't give a fuck what the beat is doing, how to ride a beat. Like, when the last time you heard M just float on some shit to where you was like, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while.
The Moon Man with Cudi.
With Cudi?
The thing he had with Cudi.
Yeah, he did smoke that. That was the end of last year. Oh, not last year, 2020. Yeah, on the Cudi album. But damn, man, like, and again, this is in the Eminem trash session. It's just like, sometimes you got to do what's best for the song as an artist, and you got to know when that is. And somebody that's been in the game such a long time, you would think that M would know that. You know what I mean? But, want to double back. You mentioned Lil Wayne, to end this album thing off. Let's talk about Lil Wayne and
the constant re-releases with new songs on here. That's not needed.
No. Stop it, man. I got we didn't like it the first 3 times that you added songs to it. We didn't like it the first 3 times. What makes you think this 4th time I'm gonna want to listen to it? And then you drop this subpar shit. And then Lil Wayne, come on, Weezy F baby, please say the baby, bruh. Why the fuck do you take all this goodwill that you had from last year, motherfuckers? Even B Dot, as crazy as I think that take was to having him as his top rapper of 2020, even people like that was thinking great, very highly of you. And then what do? You add 4 sorry ass songs to this joint, and it's like, wow.
Everybody already, like, we done heard everything on Sorry for the Wait. We know we like it. The people who like it gonna want to like it. They just happy that it's back out on the streaming service. Why do you need to add to it? Do you need to, like, this is the remastered version? This is the super duper remastered version? No, I just want the original shit that I asked for. That's it. Give me that so I can go back and reminisce. I don't need to reminisce with a little bit of your nostalgia. Like, no, it was fine as is. This is like when they go back and like they redo those movies and add stuff to it. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna redo E.T. and we're gonna add this little portion to it, or something like this. Like, no,
remastered shit. Like,
it was fine. We're gonna throw in bigger explosions. Like,
I liked it when
What
it
was
was
wrong with this
480p.
bullshit?
I liked it when it was 420p or whatever it is. Like, I'm cool. Like, I know you didn't have the technology, then I'll keep watching it like this. Like, who wants to watch RoboCop in 1080p? You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it looked bad then, but we enjoyed it, and we'll enjoy it now. The way it's still the old way. Like, so, man, easy.
That was the same thing. Like, okay, you can clean up the quality of the music. I don't need your extra songs. I don't need you to go up here and say, hey, I threw in this remix to this one, so I took off the original beat. No, that's not why I'm coming back to this. I'm coming back for the original beat, the original lyrics, everything else. It's a product that's already created. Sorry for the Wait is those songs minus the new 4 songs that you put on there. That is a new EP. Just release that as another EP if you feel like that's got to be music that you got to get off.
Right, and then like unless you download it, Prez, right? Unless you download it, as soon as you go back to it, you're like, "What's these 4 new songs?" It just pops up on you. Disrespectful, disrespectful. I don't want to hear these first 4. This ain't how I remember the song structure going. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I gotta waste data in my phone to protect myself from you. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that shit.
Reminiscing, like, oh yeah, go to song 4.
Yeah, let me go.
Song 4 is different.
Song what the?
On, fuck?
Who is this? Who's Lil Tecca? Yeah, I don't remember Lil Tecca being on this. But yeah, bro, it's yeah. I mean, I hate to leave it end off on a music segment like this.
Hard for me, like the original music on it. Come on, man. Just like when you re-releasing these things, just leave it as is and push.
Just
it
do
out.
a new project. Do an
Extra,
EP. Give me an EP. Just say it's an EP.
Throw out an EP. That's all I'm saying. And leave. Don't ruin your old product. Yeah. Don't ruin your old product.
Just face the scrutiny with an EP, but don't throw 4 subpar songs on there. You know, just give me a new EP to complain about. I respect that more.